I shouldn't have been turned away twice. They literally said, if you hadn't come today, you would have died.
Am I invisible? This may sound like a ridiculous question, but try looking online for a simple condition like eczema or acne. You'll be scrolling a while before you see skin like mine. And this isn't just online either. When looking through medical textbooks with thousands of pages, there were only 22 images of non-white skin. I started looking into this after waking up with a condition even my doctor couldn't explain. It just made me wonder, is my skin not important?
This time last year, I was struck by a 1 in 3 mortality rate syndrome called Stevens-Johnson syndrome. It kills 1 in 3 people. I had been prescribed a medication called carbamazepine following my wisdom tooth extraction. I now started flaring up with what I can only describe as a horrific reaction. This is what I looked like on day 1.
Wow.
The following day, it had got significantly worse.
Oh my goodness.
And here, just a day after...
The marks were spread across your nose, completely under your eyes, more pus is coming from your lips. And at this point, you've been to the hospital how many times now?
Twice to A&E.
Okay. On what grounds did they ask you to leave?
My symptoms didn't look severe enough to them.
Like that?
Like that. Didn't look severe.
They didn't ask you what?
They didn't even take my medical history, and it was almost like I had to fight for my needs and for my pain. As soon as I stepped through those A&E doors, my body just gave up, and they had to resuscitate me. It was only when I went to this 3rd hospital where there was a consultant who looked like me and who could identify that this woman, A, she's in severe pain, but this is not how she looks normally. And this is where we say representation matters. I think back and I don't know. I guess I feel failed. I feel failed. And I think I also remember the fact that it's not just me. There's a history of women who have been turned away just because it doesn't look like what they recognize. It doesn't look like what they've seen before. If their curriculum doesn't account for what certain diseases look like on dark skin, then the fault is not even with them. The fault lies in the fact that they haven't been told, they haven't been shown.
I spoke to a recently qualified doctor who would only speak to me anonymously. She told me that her poor training had left her unable to diagnose her own dark skin.
First, I believed I had a mosquito bite, and it began to get more and more painful. At points and periods, I could not walk.
It took her 3 weeks of her own research to diagnose herself with sepsis.
Me not being able to diagnose what I had was obviously no fault of my own. Do you know how rare it is for me to see a condition and it's not on a Caucasian person? It's rare, and it shouldn't be rare.
Someone definitely taking initiative is Malone.
How are you?
Hi, Bree, how are you?
During his 2nd year of uni, he created the Mind the Gap handbook, and it's the first of its kind. It shows a variety of conditions on non-white skin.
It's now being used by like the North East Ambulance Service, the London Ambulance Service. It's being used in some GP practices. It's starting to reshape the way medical education is being taught. The work that we produced is able to help and potentially even maybe to prolong people's lives as an entire movement and as an entire profession. I feel like we haven't done enough as of yet.
What was the process of getting the handbook from an initial idea?
The process was a very rocky road. People looked at me as a 2nd year student and almost wrote me off from the very start. And I do think it's sometimes unfortunate that we as students have to do stuff like this. If we don't do it, nobody else will do it.
Malone isn't alone in pushing for change. The British Association of Dermatologists was petitioned by over 5,000 people in 2020, asking for an increase in diversity in training materials.
Why was there a need for the petition in the first place? And moreover, why did it have to come from the students?
We very much welcomed the petition, which we felt was a very important student voice to highlight something that has already been concerning the British Association of Dermatologists for some time. Educational leaders need to ensure that diversity of patient population is embedded into all of the educational material, not just tacked on at the end. So one of the things that we've done is update our undergraduate handbook. We have included new images or a wide range of skin types.
The latest version of the undergraduate handbook now has 18 images of non-white skin. Before, it only had 1. How would you respond to critics that may argue, why so late? What took you so long?
I would say making a positive change, it's never too early and it's never too late. We're doing it now is the main thing. And dermatology in the UK has historically been very European-centric because it was established as a medical specialty in the 18th century. We need to modernize